Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for your final act? Are you ready? Then please welcome the one and only Mr. David Tennant!
Hi. That's better.
Yes.
Hi. How are we all today? It's very nice in Belgium. I like it. Thank you for having me.
Any day.
It's very pretty. Ghent is beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you for building it. So I believe we have some questions. Do we have some questions?
Yeah.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
That's it. Now you know what happens next. I don't need to go through the motions.
Yes, you do.
Where are we? What are we doing?
Well, I'm trying to get through there.
Oh, there you are.
Now tell the joke about the Scottish guy who doesn't drink whiskey.
It's not that I don't drink whiskey very often. And if I do, I tend to drink Jack Daniels.
Ooh.
You're never getting invited to this.
It does make me a very bad Scotsman.
No true
Right.
Scotsman.
Okay, sorry about this.
It's quite alright, it was exciting, wasn't it? Like a live event happening in front of us.
So, to get things going, how about you tell us about you being the best Doctor Who ever? How did that come about?
That is a matter of opinion. But God bless you. Of course, that might all change next Saturday. That's exciting, isn't it? That's very exciting. Doctor Who was a show I grew up loving. I had posters on my bedroom wall of Tom Baker, who I met in a bookshop in Glasgow, and he signed my poster. And then by a weird quirk of fate, all these years later, I ended up being in it, and it's been it's amazing because of that, because I grew up watching the show and then ended up being in this show, and that's unlikely. And then the show continued and did well, and that's unlikely. And then you leave the show, and 10 years later, you're in a hall in Belgium with all these lovely people. It's a weird show to be involved with. It's a lovely show to be involved with, but to be at the centre of that kind of the kind of scrutiny and attention and enthusiasm that Doctor Who gets it's quite humbling, but also lovely, because you've got this lovely thing for life that people feel very. It's a lovely show to be associated with because people feel very benevolent towards it. It's a happy show. There's very few people who get annoyed by Doctor Who or who don't like Doctor Who. It's one of those shows that even if you don't watch it, you sort of know what it is and you feel kind of warm and squidgy about it. So it's a very nice thing to be involved with. It's a bit overwhelming at times because it follows you wherever you go. But I'm not going to complain about that because I get to be here with all you lovely people. And that's very nice.
Now, I've already seen many hands raised.
Steady on, steady on. Steady on, Belgium.
Hi.
Hi, hello, hi.
My question was, obviously you, with your work and the person you are, you made me change my vision of life. And I wanted to know, with all you've worked on and the people you met, as there's something that has changed your life and your vision of life.
that's a deep. I'm going to have to lie down. I love this 80s couch, by the way. It's very retro. I'll go this way, better sightlines, right? What has changed my vision of life? Whew. I mean, the thing that really changes your vision of life, to answer your question very seriously, I suppose, is probably having kids. That sort of alters everything that you're about, doesn't it? Anyone here who has had that privilege will know it. Everything, all your priorities change, and everything that you do in life, you do for a different reason. So I suppose probably that, really. Yeah, it's hard to top that. We also have a dog. But that seems to be more to do with just stopping getting up pissing on your shoes. So yeah, probably having kids. I mean, that's quite life changing. I mean, lots of things have been, I suppose, influence you and set you off in directions. It's like, you know, that movie Sliding Doors. You never know what's going to happen and what direction your life will take, and how things could have worked out differently. But probably the biggest shift is when you become a parent, I guess. Hi.
As a doctor, you've had quite a few memorable quotes and catchphrases. Which one is the one that stuck by you the most?
Yeah, probably that. Probably allons-y. Which has never felt more appropriate than when I'm here. Allons-y is probably the one that stuck, I guess, wasn't it? I mean, thankfully Russell T Davies is this sort of he's a brilliant writer who has this head full of stuff, and things just kept coming out of it. So to have his scripts for 4.5 years was a total joy, really, and the sort of the lava of brilliance that would flow from the volcano of his mind. It was very nice to be on the receiving end of that. But yes, I guess certainly in Doctor Who terms, the one that sticks is probably allons-y. That's probably the one. And I forget things that I'm associated with. People come up to me. I was in a Harry Potter film once. But it was quite a long time ago. And I don't always remember the things. So people will come up to me and go, "I'll show you mine if you show me yours." Which, you know, isn't always clear what they mean. But I've learned to recognise that as a Harry Potter reference. Sometimes you don't always get the references that you should. Yeah, I think probably yes. I will go with allons-y. Yeah. Who's next? Hi.
Hi. I think you get this a lot, but I'm gonna ask it anyway.
Sure.
Can I ruffle your hair?
It's too crispy. It would brittle. It would shatter into 1,000 pieces. Honestly, you don't want to. You really don't. It's all sort of product and nastiness. It would spoil whatever illusion you clearly have. So I think it's best to. But thank you for the offer. I think, but I think we should move swiftly.
Hello.
Hello.
You play a lot of different roles. I loved you in Jessica Jones, for example. Is there any kind of role you still dream of playing?
No, really, because until the sort of script arrives that's written well by somebody brilliant, you can't really imagine what that might be. You can't imagine. It's hard to imagine a character. I mean, I don't know what you want. So, oh yes, I'd like to play a baker, or I don't know, a sewage worker. I don't know what that would be, you know, until because a character has so many different things, and it's all to do with the writing, all to do with. So until presumably there are characters that have not yet been written that that I would love to play, but I don't know what they are yet. I suppose there are characters in certain plays I know that I'd like to go at some point. There's some Shakespeare parts I'd certainly like to play that I've not done. But sorry? Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. No, I suppose, yeah, what's hard to know is what the characters that one hasn't been allowed to look at yet. That's the exciting thing as well. What's new, what's out there. I'm available for all offers. I will read all scripts, and my agent's number is, you can look that up. Hi.
Hi.
Nice scarf.
Thanks.
And hat.
Thanks.
Scarf and hat combo.
Yes.
Did you buy them together?
Nope.
They came separately?
This one is self-made.
Self-made. Round of applause for the scarf. Look at that scarf. Where'd you get the hat?
It's my father's.
Is it? It's very nice. Did he actually ever wear it?
Yes.
Does he still wear it?
No.
Oh. Well, it's beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, well done. Sorry, what was your question?
It's a very important question.
Oh.
Would you like a jelly baby?
Other incarnation.
Probably not, really, no. But it's a lovely thought. Thank you. Thank you very much. What flavours have you got? All of them.
Too dark to see.
All the fruits, all the jellies, all the babies, all the time. That could be their new slogan. Hello.
Hi, David.
Hi.
I wanted to ask you a question. A lot of people will always think in the concept of you being the doctor. But what if you woke up in the middle of the night and you heard the TARDIS sound and the doctor walks out and asks you to be his companion or her companion?
Oh, interesting.
Where would you want to go?
Oh.
Would you?
I mean, well, It's a difficult question, isn't it? Because you feel the responsibility. Do you take the responsibility that great power and opportunity would afford you? Do you go back in time and try and right some of the wrongs that would be visited on the world? Do you go and try and change the results of some recent elections? Do you go and do that? I don't want to have to get a visa to come to Belgium. Yes. Or do you just go, oh, I really want to go and see the Beatles play in the Cavern Club in 1962? Probably that. Or do you want to go and see what happens next? Do you want to go right into the future and see where we end up? See if we end up, or if we're just a kind of charred ball circling around the sun, bleakly extinct. Probably. Or maybe if you change the election results, we wouldn't end up that way. I don't know. You see, it's the chaos theory, isn't it? I'd be very torn. But I guess if you've got time travel, you have all of time to do everything that you want to do, don't you? So, which doctor has come to call on me? Which one is it? That would be weird if it was me. Like, oh, I thought you looked so much better in that suit. Everything. I'd do everything. I'd keep going back and redoing things. I'd play tricks on friends. It would be too tempting not to do everything, wouldn't it? Everything all the time. It'd be quite dangerous though. It always strikes me as terribly dangerous. People who end up going with the doctor, they always say they have a great time, but they die like nearly 4 times a week. The mortality, it's amazing the mortality rate isn't higher. Probably a little bit scary, but I think it would be, there's so much. A lot of wrongs to right, a lot of bands to see. Thank you. It was such a ludicrous character, which was great fun to play. He wasn't based on any particular Las Vegas magician, I promise. But we got to go to Las Vegas and watch one of them and nick all his ideas. I won't say his name in case he sues me. I got to walk with Anton Yelchin, the dearly departed Anton Yelchin, who was just about one of the nicest human beings you'd ever meet. It's sort of an awful, terrible tragedy that he's no longer with us. Lots of great people were in that movie. Colin Farrell, he's sort of chipped out of marble. He's a sort of perfect human being, sort of physical specimen. Just walks in like that, he's sort of perfect. Everything about him. And then he's just nice and normal and cheery and fun. So yeah, it was a great film. I thought it was. I was very pleased with the end result. Very sad we never made a sequel, frankly. Thank you.
I wanted to ask you about Good Omens.
Yes.
Did you already read Terry Pratchett's work before being a part of the series? How was it shooting with Michael Sheen?
Well, I knew some of Terry Pratchett's work. I knew some of Neil Gaiman's work. I'm ashamed that I didn't know this novel. And I don't know how I didn't. Michael Sheen has known this novel all his life. He's sort of been waiting to play this part. I didn't know it. I don't know how it's passed me by, because I never meet people for whom it's the most important novel they've ever read. I realise now it's what an extraordinary piece of work it is. So I feel incredibly fortunate that it came my way. It's a great novel, and it's been adapted by Neil Gaiman himself. He's written all the scripts. He was on set every day, so it's very much got the stamp of authenticity for all the Good Omens fans out there. It was done with a lot of sort of love for Terry Pratchett by a lot of people involved. And Michael Sheen was heaven. I mean, literally heaven, as he's playing an angel. But he's just great to work with, and almost all our stuff is, we do a lot of sitting on a park bench, kind of moaning at each other and teasing each other, and it was great. I loved it. So I haven't seen any of it yet. I hope it all works out. But shooting was great. The scripts were great. It's looking so far like it's all going according to plan. So I'm delighted to be part of that, and I feel the weight of responsibility, because you come to shows like this, and you know, a lot of people here may have read Good Omens and may know Good Omens and may have an opinion about it, and people, you know, don't want their dreams crushed. So I'm aware that we have a responsibility to get it right, but I hope that we will. I hope you enjoy it when it comes out next year.
Story about something that happened on set. It can be Doctor Who or anything else, and you think that it would be a story if you go to a bar, you meet new people, you'd be like, you know what happened at work today? It's a fun story.
I know, people always want funny stories. I never feel like I've got any.
Well, we know.
I always feel like we must be terribly dull. I mean, the thing is, certainly on Doctor Who, we had such a good time for such a lot of it that I don't remember specific sort of, and then his pants fell off. Unless it was a Captain Jack episode. Did anyone see John earlier? Yeah! He's very shy. It's very difficult. I don't remember any specific, I can't think of a specific story. I feel very blessed to have worked with all those people and to have met those people, and to now be all these years later coming to Belgium, and there's John, and we have a laugh, and I was working with Catherine just yesterday, so these people become sort of friends for life, because it was such an important time for all of us. What funny stories? I don't know. I'll just do a dance instead, and hope that there's another question because I don't answer. I can't think of a funny story. I'm going to work on that and I'll get back to you with something brilliant.
Hello, David.
Hello.
I think you have a American accent.
Thank you, so do you.
I was
shouting from the back.
I was wondering if it's hard to drop it in certain roles. You have to take on another accent. What's the hardest one?
I quite like doing accents. I quite like, it feels makes you feel like you're someone a bit different. So I enjoy doing things in my own accent too, but there's something quite freeing about changing your voice. And sometimes obviously you have to work on them, and there are some that I've done quite a lot now, and you get used to them, and they can become a sort of second nature. And then every now and again you'll have to study a new accent because you've never done it before, and that's you work with sort of experts who tells you, oh, that vowel sounds like this, and then once you sort of master it, it's a bit like you've got a new car to drive. I quite like that, so I quite like accents. There's one I cannot do, which is South African, which for some reason completely defeats me. So I would never be able to play a South African successfully. I could sort of start it alright, but then very quickly it turns into the North Country in the north of England. I sound like I'm from Birmingham. So I can't hold on to that one. But other than that, I quite like an accent. I mean, until I find one that defeats me, I suppose. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. You've got a guitar.
Yes.
You're going to play a song?
Unfortunately, no. It's
Oh, I thought we were going to do a number. I thought that was the big finale. Sorry, go ahead.
There's a question silently going around amongst my friends of the Belgian movements, and the question is, in what episode you see Missy and the Master getting really flirty with each other? And now we are wondering, if a Time Lord or a Time Lady starts a relationship with himself or herself of a different generation, would it be self-pleasure or incest?
On the couch. I hope we're not just suggesting this because the Doctor now for the first time has been played by a woman, because it's just as likely that two male Doctors could get together, right? Or two female Doctors could get together. But yes, I mean, or maybe they can just coexist without it having to turn sexual. Maybe that also. Well, it wouldn't be incest. I see what you mean. I was going to say incest is within a family, but I suppose it. I don't think I want to know. I guess it would be. I guess technically it would be self-pleasure. I don't think there's a term for it because it's not real. Shh. So I don't think there's ever had to be a legal argument constructed to unpack that, which makes it a very good question, by the way. It also makes me feel a little bit ill. So I'll say none of the above and move on swiftly. Thank you very much. Good question.
Hello.
Hi.
You played.
Just check the facts right.
You played a lot of emotional scenes.
Thank you.
But which watching you get emotional by yourself?
Which one?
Oh, I didn't quite understand the question.
Wait, I have a quick.
Okay.
He asks, you played a lot of emotional scenes in Doctor Who, and he asks, he wants to know what scene you get emotional by yourself as a person, as David.
What do you mean in life? What makes me emotional? Well, I think the things that make everyone emotional, probably. I suppose, things obviously within your own family that are either very moving, either very touching or very sad for whatever reason. I don't think I'm unlike most human beings. Things make me sad and happy, as hopefully as they should, and as they sort of relate to you and yours and the world around you. I think there's been a lot to be very sad about in the broader world in recent years, and a lot to make us sort of feel like we need to fight, frankly. So, yeah, I think the standard things, really. You know, the family things and things around the world that make me despair for humankind. But hopefully, you know, you can always find a little something of a shard of hope, a bit of humanity that can make you sort of dry off your tears and get stuck in. That's what I'd say. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. I don't know if you remember me.
I do. We met today, like twice.
I need you signature of Photoshop.
Yes.
I love you all, the Broadchurch, David Tennant, and Doctor Who.
Thank you.
But no, I can hug you.
Can you hug me?
Yes.
No, this is a one-off. Come here. Merci beaucoup. What's next? Hi.
I'm so sorry, I'm very nervous.
So am I. There's all these people looking at you. Look, you're on telly.
First of all, I want to say that I think you're brilliant. You're my favorite doctor.
Thank you.
And I had two questions. The first one is, what's your favorite episode of Doctor Who? And the second one was, if I could get also a hug, but...
I think we'll be forming a line soon. I think that, you know, the convention hall closes tonight. Favourites are hard, aren't they? It feels a little bit wrong to have a favourite because every episode, particularly Doctor Who, every episode was so different, and because we had a different cast, we had a different set of locations, each story was very uniquely itself. That it feels like having favourites is wrong. It feels like you're kind of choosing between children or something. You know, each one was very individual and special, and I have very fond memories of each one. So I don't know that I've got a favourite, really. I had some very good times in a lot of them. It's always nice when old friends would come back. They were ones, and when we did Soul and Earth and Journey's End, it was everyone came back. We suddenly had a TARDIS full of chums. So that was one of the ones that I have fondest memories of filming, just because it was really nice to go to work with everyone all at once. But I don't have any. I'm really fond and proud of all of them, actually. My favourite's probably the last one that I saw a repeat of. So yeah, all of them, all the time. All the favourites, all the time. Partly because you're doing some scenes that are very charged and often quite emotionally quite difficult. People are having to go to some quite dark corners of their psyche to tell the story. So it means that when the cameras are off, it can all get quite giddy and quite silly, which Broadchurch actually did at times. It was a very happy time. Different, very different to making Doctor Who, a completely different experience. Hard to compare, but equally special when I look back on it, certainly. And then DuckTales is different again, because that's just me in a room on my own, shouting into a microphone and jumping up and down and getting very sweaty and overacting a lot on my own with headphones. People, usually I'm in London and people are in Los Angeles. It's a very, very different sorts of experience. I mean, I'm very fortunate that I get to enjoy these different types of shows and these different types of experiences, and I feel very lucky. I wouldn't want to remove any of them. I'm greedy for the variety, so that's part of what I enjoy about my job. It's not a job really, it's just messing around, pretending.
I'm getting paid for it.
Hello.